Hello all and welcome to All Red. It is official. Richard Hughes is the new football director, or whatever you want to call him, sporting director for Liverpool Football Club. And I, for one, could not be happier to see how all of these pieces are falling into place. First, it was Michael Edwards. Now it's Richard Hughes. And what's going to be next? Well, maybe someone with another double first name, Richard, Hugh, Michael, Edward, perhaps Xabi, Alonso. Anyways, Richard Hughes, why is he so important for what Liverpool are trying to do in the post-Klopp era? Let's break it down. I think there's three things that Richard Hughes, from his track record, will bring to Liverpool, and three reasons why Michael Edwards really wanted to bring him in. And it's, of course, a shrewd piece of business from Dr. Edwards once again to bring in a friend of his who he's actually worked with throughout the years, even when Richard Hughes was a player and Michael Edwards worked at Portsmouth. But we're going to get into that. So let's talk about number one. I think this is the most important reason, and obviously this is like his job title now at Liverpool. Richard Hughes is a genius in the transfer market. The work that he's done at Bournemouth as their football director, or what's the official title? Football director, sporting director. The work that he's done at Bournemouth as sporting director is nothing short of genius. Don't forget that Bournemouth were relegated in 2020. And now, with Richard Hughes having been there for 8 to 10 years now, he has done really some miraculous moves in the transfer market, including bringing in their new manager, Raiola, who, interestingly enough, has the same agent as Xabi Alonso. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting stuff, huh? So that's cool. Bournemouth are now kind of a stalwart in the Premier League. Where are they at right now? I'm going to look that up. Bournemouth, they are not in relegation battle. They're sitting 13th in the Premier League, which for that club is a massive win. They are firmly planted in the middle of the park alongside of other small clubs like Chelsea and Newcastle. See what I did there? Anyways. Okay, so Richard Hughes is a genius in the transfer market. And tell me if this makes sense and sounds familiar. He's a genius in the transfer market and can work magic with smaller budgets. Where have we heard that before? Maybe Michael Edwards? He's almost like a Michael Edwards Jr., and he's going to be working under Michael Edwards. So if this was all Liverpool did, if they brought in Richard Hughes to kind of replace the old Michael Edwards, and we didn't have Michael Edwards in his current CEO of football position with FSG, I'd be like, cool, maybe Richard Hughes becomes another legendary football director like Michael Edwards did. But he gets to work under Michael Edwards. So Michael Edwards still has this overshadowing of his position, but Richard Hughes is actually still a genius. So I can't wait to see what those two do together with just the amount of sheer talent, genius, like technical expertise and breaking down of analytics. I mean, it's not even fair. It's not even fair. Okay, that was number one. He's a genius in the transfer market and can work magic with smaller budgets. Okay, number two. He is very, very well connected, okay? He's not been doing this for decades and decades. He's been doing this for about 10 years. But he did play in the Premier League. And so he's got probably 2 to 3 decades of Premier League experience, both as a player and as a technical director or football director. And that is going to be very, very crucial because a well-connected football director or technical director just has a leg up on other clubs because of connections with agents. So here's a couple examples. I already mentioned it. He's got connections, obviously, with the agent who works with Raiola and Xabi Alonso. Okay, so that's probably all I need to say about his connections. But there's more. This is an interesting appointment because we do have some upcoming contract negotiations that need to happen with some of our best players. Our captain, Virgil van Dijk, our vice captain, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and what goes on with Mo Salah, we don't know yet. But Richard Hughes has worked with Virgil van Dijk's agent, and he's worked with Xabi Alonso's agent. So those two things right there, and he's been successful in working with them. So those two things right there should tell you all you need to know. Now, in addition to this, who knows what they're going to do with that second or third club that FSG want to purchase. And there's a whole question mark there around what happens. But just consider this. There's several teams who do this across the world. But one of the most notable, I thought, would be Red Bull. Red Bulls, whatever they're called. The Red Bull, they just generate so much talent. And they have this multi-tiered, multi-club model where they own multiple clubs and they have more control over future talent, which clearly works for them. Manchester City do the same thing. I don't know if they actually develop talent, though. They just buy it illegally. So that's number two. A well-connected technical director is going to be a good technical director. All right, number three. And this one is kind of a summary of everything I just said. But he has a very good, long track record of success at Bournemouth. And he also grew up in the Premier League as a player. Not a great player, but a player nonetheless. And interestingly enough, this is how him, Richard Hughes, and Michael Edwards, they go way back. Richard Hughes was a player at Portsmouth when Michael Edwards was kind of cutting his teeth as, I think, an analytics director or a director of performance at Portsmouth. And they grew a strong bond together. And that's kind of where their friendship started. And so just a long track record of success, not as a player, but more as a technical director at Bournemouth, and has really done wonders to take what used to be a championship side consistently, and now they're sitting in the middle of the table alongside of fellow small clubs, Chelsea and Newcastle. So, really an amazing job and an amazing hire. And this really just goes to show not only the genius of Michael Edwards, but if you zoom out, there are multiple levels of what Liverpool are doing now. And it actually shows the genius of Jurgen Klopp and maybe the reason why Jurgen Klopp is so tired. So Jurgen Klopp departs, okay? And now FSG are doing all the right moves to replace this one man who's been carrying Liverpool Football Club on his back for the last 8 years. Now, you have Jurgen Klopp departing, and now you're going to see this three-tiered structure of club management that starts with Michael Edwards at the top, CEO of football. Now it's Richard Hughes as the technical director, the guy who can just go out, watch film, recruit like crazy, and make the shrewdest of deals because Papa Edwards is going to help him do that. Okay. And then third, of course, who's not here yet because Jurgen Klopp is still our manager. Thirdly, will be that manager, the day-to-day, hopefully Jurgen Klopp-like manager who's dynamic, who can take the amazing talent that Edwards and Hughes bring in, and they can work wonders on the field with what is already a ridiculously strong squad. This summer is going to be fascinating, and I cannot be happier with how Liverpool have dealt with losing perhaps the best manager in the world. They've done all the right things so far. Now you got to go get Xabi Alonso, and it seems like they're putting the pieces in place to do that. It just has to happen. And I can't wait. So, a wonderful appointment for Liverpool. Well done, Michael Edwards, to bring in Richard Hughes. And that is why I think Richard Hughes is going to be an absolutely wonderful signing. He's essentially Michael Edwards Jr., and he has Daddy Michael Edwards right above him to help out and perhaps coach him a little bit, but just be this safety net of wonderful intelligence. So Liverpool doing all the right things. I cannot wait, but we still have a season going on here. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. But at least the future seems to be taken care of for now. Thanks for watching this all-red clip. If you liked the video, click the like button and comment below. Let me know something about whatever it is you want to say. And of course, consider joining the All Red community by subscribing to this channel. It's fast, it's easy, it's free, and it's all red. And you're welcome to stay here and keep watching this video as long as you like. But I actually need to go. So thank you. I'll see you later.